Cam. Class will begin soon. No, class is going to begin now, so I can take that off. Welcome if you're joining from Zoom. It's a little different than what we're usually doing because as you can see, I'm back at work. We're back at the farm out in this lovely California weather. So we're going to be doing, I'm actually going to be hosting most of my classes from here. And eventually, I'm sure in-person students will start to join in as I teach kind of a hybrid of in-person classes and virtual. So if you're just joining in, welcome, welcome. I have blocks today. If you don't have any props, that's totally fine. You don't need them. I teach assuming that you don't have these things. It can just be really nice. So what we're going to do is get ourselves most comfortable. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. Make sure to get my water because it is warm today. Let's settle in here. Hands can be on the thighs, sitting up nice and tall. And as you close your eyes, we'll bring awareness inward. And that may be a new sensation. So if you need something to, kind of a guide point here, we can focus on our breath. Elongating the breath, making a deeper inhale, and an even longer exhale. Just slowing things down here, getting grounded, sinking into our body. Noticing just even the smallest sensations here as you kind of go through a body scan. Just notice what's happening in your body. That's kind of the practice, is honing in our skill of listening inward. Great. Slowly start to turn the shoulder blades into a big circle here. And we're not rushing through this, just appreciating all of the movement that the can make across the back of your rib cage. This movement seems so simple, but it's one that we take for granted, especially if we're at a computer all day, right? We get this kind of hunched over back. Reverse the direction of those circles. But a lot of times when I'm working with students or clients, and they complain of neck pain or upper back pain, this is kind of one that I teach to people. Regaining control and awareness of what the shoulder blades can do, because that affects all of this movement that comes overhead, right? If the shoulder blades don't move, that upper arm position, that overhead shape, is going to be a lot harder to create. Okay. Good. Let's bring the arms out to a T. We're going to close into fists. Actually, we can even do thumbs up. Turn it down, take the left thumb, turn it up. We're kind of winding into our body. Good. On your next inhale, come back through center. Exhale over to the other side. Left thumb down, right thumb up and back, right? Find your limit and then maybe squeeze a little bit more out, like wringing the towel. Nice. Feeling that internal, external rotation through the shoulders. One more on each side here. Nice. Good. Back to center. Inhale. Reach up nice and tall. Interlace the fingers there, and we're just going to tip over to the right side. Now, I was just talking to my sister who's in the Zoom here right before this. I may or may not be mirrored to you, so when I say right, you can go right. And if you and two. We're going to even things out. In breath back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Good. Inhale back to center. So we're going to take that interlace and we're going to cross it, right? So all I've done is I've taken my palms, I've crossed one over the other, turned them to face each other, and then re-interlaced. So you may be here with bent elbows to start, and then we're going to start to reach up overhead. Now I'm really kind of squeezing my palms together, squeezing the elbows into the ear, and we're getting an even deeper stretch through the shoulders there as the knuckles reach up towards the sky. Little bonus cue, if you're kind of pressing palms together, ooh, we really position that feels deep because what's actually happening at the top range there, shoulder blades are rotating upward to create this action. Nice. Good. Breathe everything out. Inhale, uninterlace the hands. Exhale, hands to the floor. Let's roll onto hands and knees here. Little cat-cow action. Moving the spine. Inhale, big arch. We're looking up, tailbone to the sky. Exhale, tuck the chin. Roll everything under. Push. You can even push into the floor. That'll help get the shoulder blades to spread across the back. If you couldn't notice, we're going to focus a little bit more on the shoulders today. Oh, you guys can walk through. Yeah, we are at a gym. See people walking through. A socially distanced gym. I have to say that. I mean, it is true. All right, we're going a little freestyle with this cat-cow, right? As I always say in my classes, you can go side to side, you can move the head, you can move the hips. Maybe you're just liking that forward and back position, but permission to get weird with it. I like to kind of move my hand position and just see what kind of funky shapes I can make. To allow the body to tell me what feels good. I'm going to be walking up to the camera a little bit more today so I can see what people are saying, how they're doing. Nice. Looking good there. Yeah. Sweet. Let them more downward dog. So we're back to all fours. We're curling the toes under, sending the hips up and back. Now this one might be your first one in a while, so you can take it easy. What do I mean by that? Heels can be a little higher off the ground, knees can be more deeply bent, and we're pushing into the floor, right? You can pedal your feet out. Just kind of notice what you're feeling today. You know, everything affects how our bodies feel when we come to practice, how much we've slept, if we've been driving 8 hours like I just did coming back from my sister's place in San Diego. Just meeting your body where it is today. Good. Let's inhale, come forward to a plank position and just hold here. Feel strong. Position your shoulders right over the wrist. Wide fingers grab into the floor here. Feel really strong. You can even give that tailbone a little bit of a tuck under. Woo! Feel solid all the way throughout. Good. Let's take an in-breath here. Exhale over the knees first. Then chest and chin drop between the hands. Keep the butt high in the air. Inhale. Slide forward and up. Hold here in this cobra. All right. Tops of the feet down on the ground. Feet together. Hands can help a little bit by lifting the chest and the head. We're looking straight down. We're going to feel a lot through the mid and upper back. You might even feel it creeping down into your low back. But see if we can get more of that sensation or the lift of the spine to come higher up the back. Elbows are squeezing in tight here. We're going to feel more of the upper back muscles engaging. Good. Let's take a peek over the shoulder. See what's going on over that right shoulder there. You may notice that the whole right side body lights up a little bit more. Let's come back through center. Take a peek over the left shoulder. See what's happening. And it may not be a big, it may not be a big movement, but at least we can kind of feel what's going on there. Back to center. Good. Exhale, lower that forehead. Press your hips back to your heels. Child's pose. If you ever need to rest, here is the place to do it. Forehead on the ground. And we're reaching out actively through the arms. Palms pressing down into the floor. A little more active here. It's kind of, you get out of it what you put into it. Good. Coming into our down dog, we're going to inhale to all fours. Exhale, curl toes under, send hips up and back. There we are. Nice. So feeling a little more upper body focused today. So you can stay in your down dog or take an optional little bit of a twist. So I'm going to take my right hand and grab for anywhere along the outside of my left leg. For some, it might be just grabbing the thigh. Some of you can go down to your calf. Maybe you can get to your ankle, but I'm really pushing the floor away through the left foot, and I'm using that connection with the hand to pull my trunk into a twist there. Woo, that's intense. Let's set that down. Come onto the other side, right? So weight is into the right hand. Left hand reaches across your midline. Go anywhere along the outer edge of the right. I'm going to my ankle. I'm going to use that leverage and really try to crank myself through. We're going to come back to this variation of down dog. So if you're not doing it now, we can do it a little bit later. Yes. Both hands back down. Let's inhale, shift forward to plank. Hold here, 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Really push the floor away. Exhale, 1. Last cycle, inhale. Exhale, lower the knees down, then chest and chin drop between the hands. Boom. On the inhale, slide it forward and up. Exhale, let's feel our downward facing dog. Shoulders starting to feel it. Do, do, do. We're going to make our way and walk forward. If you want to hop it up, you can do that. Good. We inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale, deepen into your fold. Let's inhale, rise all the way up, arms reaching up. Exhale, arms alongside your body here. Nice. Good, let's flow a little bit more here. Inhale, big reach. Folding with the breath out. Inhale, lift halfway up, and we're going to hold here. Okay, we're looking for that straight spine. And if you're looking forward, we're going to kind of cram into the neck. So our view is going to be straight down. So we get that nice long neck. And we're going to take that right arm, reach it out in front of us with the thumb up. I do this one a lot in class because it gets us understanding overhead position feels like and how we can use those back muscles and spinal muscles to help support that. Good. One more breath. Exhale, right hand lowers down to the shin. Inhale, that left arm, thumb up, reaches up. Try to maintain that straight spine, right? So if you need to deepen that bend in the knees, go for it. Thumb up to the sky. Good. Exhale, lower that hand. Both hands to the floor. Let's step into our plank. You can do that knees, chest, chin. Otherwise, we're going to go into a full chaturanga. Forward, halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale into our downward facing dog. Good. Right leg reaches up into the air. Let's just feel that here. Couple of options. Calf raises off that left. If that feels good there. Just kind of ask your body what it wants to do. Sometimes staying static feels better. Sometimes fidgeting a little bit is so a welcome invitation for movement. Let's bring that knee towards the nose, and we're going to step that right foot between the hands. If it doesn't quite get all the way there, you can land and get it up. Good. Lower that back knee, uncurl the toes. We're going to inhale into our high lunge. Good. So we've got our thumbs rotating away from each other, pinkies turning towards each other. That's creating an external rotation through the arms here. We might feel some stuff light up. It's kind of right under the armpit. Now, as much as you can, we're twisting out. Let's take an inhale. Knuckles go a little bit higher to the sky. As you exhale, bend the elbows. We're bringing them into cactus. But I'm pulling them back and sending them down. I'm really trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together here. Inhale, reach up, thumbs backwards. Exhale. One more here. Good. Hold here. We're going to close into fists. And you're going to try to knuckle bump yourself behind your head. Try not to have the knuckles touch the back of the head there. So we've really got to actively externally rotate through the shoulders here. I did warn you, this is going to be kind of an upper body focus today. Woo, knuckle bump. Bring the arms out to a T. Turn those thumbs downward. And again, knuckle bump behind your low back there. Right? Oh, and I'm trying to keep my hands off of my back so I'm active through the shoulders. Good. Arms out to a T. Hands down either side of that front foot, and we can shift back. Now, if you have blocks or anything to bring the floor up, this may allow you to straighten that leg a little bit more. It doesn't need to be all the way straight. As long as you're feeling some nice stretching underneath the back of the leg there. All right, so we're holding in this half split. I heard somebody come in. I want to welcome them, say hi. Who do we, oh, Subu, welcome. Welcome in. Nice to have you here. Good. So we're in our half split here. Subu just joined us, so we're doing like a little upper body focus today, which is nice. As you can see, I'm in a different location. Half split, good. Let's inhale, shifting forward again, rebending into that front leg. Hands plant. We're gonna lift that back leg, send the right leg to meet the left leg at the back of the mat there. All righty. So let's drop down to our forearms here. We're in our forearm plank. And you can stay here. Some of you want to feel dolphin, and that's just our down dog on the forearms. So we're going to tiptoe the feet forward a little bit. Same idea. We want the hips high into the air. We want the chest to press through the dolphin pose. And it just gives us a different sensation through the shoulders. 2 more breaths. Good. If you were in dolphin, walk your feet back so that we are again in that forearm plank. Press yourself up to full position. Hips go up and back. Downward facing dog. Here, the left leg rises up into the air. Da-da-do. And again, if you did so on the other side, we can do those couple of calf raises here out of the right leg. as the left leg is suspended. Good. Left knee bends. As it comes forward, we're going to try to step it between the hands. Back knee drops down. We're in our runner's lunge. Arms reach tall overhead. Palms face each other, and we're going to try to spin those thumbs backwards, and the pinkies come a little closer together. We're breathing here. And we're going to do a couple of those cactus pulls here that we did on the other side. So as we inhale, we reach a little taller. Exhale, elbows are going to bend, but not even in line with the body. We want to try to pull them back so that we really feel the squeeze of all those back muscles. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw it down. Last one here. Exhale. Ooh, really pry it back there. See how much muscular action you can feel. Good. Let's bring the arms out to a T. Close into fists. Now what I'm going to try to do here, I'm going to turn so you can see this view back here. Maybe I'll get even a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. So from arms out, we're going to close or try to go for that knuckle bump behind the head. And you might touch the back of your head, but what we're trying to do is pull the fist. What angle is the best? There we go. Pull the fist kind of away from the head there. What we're working on is active external rotation happening through the shoulder. Good. Reach the arms out to a T. Turn the thumbs down. And now behind the back, we want to give ourselves that knuckle bump. Okay, and I'm trying to pull off of my low back. Yeah. Not easy. So now we're putting the shoulder through internal rotation. All that good stuff. Wonderful. Excellent. Arms to a T. Bring the hands down on either side of that front foot. And we're going to shift up and back. So we're looking to straighten this front leg. Maybe it's only that much. Maybe you can get it to fully straight. If you have blocks or something to bring the floor up, that sometimes can give us that last little bit to get that straightening. Okay. Holding here, just breathing. I got a towel off. It is very warm out here. And of course, staying hydrated in this warmer weather. Nice. Let's shift forward, bending again into that left leg. Plant the hands. We'll step into your plank. Okay. From here, we drop down to the forearms again. Do. And you can stay in this forearm plank. If you did so on the other side, we're going to tiptoe the feet up, push the chest through so that we can experience dolphin pose. All right, and it's a lot of demand on the lats and the serratus. And I'm going to drop my knees so I can show you. It's kind of this stuff going on right here, the area right under the armpit that you may feel that stretch. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of work being done by the shoulders here. And if there's any pain, you don't have to do what I say. You don't have to listen to me. Good. From Dolphin, walk your feet back, level the hips. We're going to come up to our plank position, press up to downward facing dog, but let's give the upper body a little bit of a break. Hop or step the feet to the top of the mat and just dangle in your forward fold. You can even grab opposite elbows here. Thank you. Thank you, they said, I'm sure, if I could hear your lovely voices.
Nice. Hands released again to the floor. We inhale, lifting half. Exhale, releasing into your fold. And then we'll inhale, come all the way up.
Exhale. Hands alongside the body there. Nice. Now we're going to take the hands, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Behind the back. Okay, and there's an option here if you want to just kind of grab for opposite forearms, you can do that too. Otherwise, we got those interlaced fingers. We're going to really pull the knuckles down, which broadens the shoulder blades. Take a breath in, exhale. We're going to fold forward and let those fists fall away from the tailbone here, right? I'm like a yoga instructor and I can't stay on my mat for whatever reason. I just want to see all your lovely faces. Nice. Cool. Nice. Looking good. Getting everything charged there.
Now as we inhale, come on up. So the fist is just going to slowly fall back to the tailbone. Chest lifts up. And we find ourselves back in Tadasana, right? This mountain pose. Standing feet together, arms forward. Just appreciating this kind of height of the body, how open the shoulders feel. Beautiful. Let's go through a little bit of the upper body stuff. We'll inhale, big sweep up. Fold forward, exhale. Half lift here on this breath in. Exhale, plant the hands. We're going to step back, big step back with that left foot. Once you land the ball of the foot, drop that heel down to about a 45-degree angle. We're going to inhale, come up into our Warrior One. Good. Feeling the strength here. So really the focus in Warrior One is this back leg, this back anchor. It's not really about like bending super deep into your front leg. This just helps micro adjust what we set up in this anchored leg. So really press down into that back foot, straighten the hell out of that back leg, and then rotate the hips forward. For some, it to bump your stance a little closer together. That way you can really wrap that hip forward. So then once we set the hips, it just takes a micro bend out of that front leg to really feel all that goodness there. Nice. So we're going to take that right arm across the body. Left elbow goes up and over. We're setting up for our eagle arms here. So you can just cross and then give yourself a big hug. Or once you cross that left arm over the right, you can go for a second twist, palm to palm. And here is our eagle arm, right? Twisted together. And I love this shape because it really stretches that space between the shoulder blades. So you're kind of pulling that left scap into protraction. Good. So we're going to inhale, lift the chest, lift the elbows a little bit. Exhale, keep the base the same, but we're going to hinge forward. Kind of like a hump. In fact, if you need to, rest your belly or your chest on your thigh here. More advanced, we're hovered just off of that thigh. Even more advanced than that is a little bit more traditional, humble warrior, except we have the arms in a different orientation. But I'm actually kind of hanging on the inside of my right thigh. Good. Nice. Let's inhale. Come all the way up, straighten that front leg. We're going to unwrap the arms and bring them to the hips. Back leg is going to bump up so that we can get an even better squaring of the hips to the front of the mat there, okay? Inhale, get nice and tall. As you exhale, we're hinging forward, right? Straight spine with hands higher up versus, oh, I can get to the floor, but I'm really rounded to get there, right? And if you are at the floor, hands down, you can start to work on prying that chest a little higher. I'm actually going to use blocks. I love blocks in this pose, this pyramid pose. Right hip crease is going to drift backwards. We're going to pull it backwards, and it'll add some intensity to this stretch here. Nice. Let's inhale, rise up. Good. We're going to go into our revolved position here. It may be a little bit easier for you to spin your back heel up so that feet are parallel to each other for this spin to be a little bit more accessible. Prop, but you don't have to get a prop here. So right hand is going to press into the small of the back. Left arm reaches up nice and tall. As you exhale, we're going to hinge over about halfway, and then we're going to twist to the right. I'm going to bring my hand. You can bring it to your shin. You can bring it to a block on either side of your foot. Normally I turn, but you'll be able to kind of see here. The right foot is forward. It's straight. We're twisting, trying to keep the spine a little bit straighter. I can even feel that I could get a little straighter in my shape too. So you're always feeling internally. Good. Exhale, look down. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, we're going to take a big step to the top of the mats. Just shake that out. We're going to even everything out. Hopefully you guys can see me. But I'll get your feedback at the class, how this camera setup is working for us today. So let's do the other side. Inhale, big reach. Folding forward as you exhale. Half left, blah, blah, half lift, breathe in. I know words, I swear. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. This time, right leg steps way back. And then once that ball of the foot lands, turn that heel about 45 degrees, and we come up into our warrior one. So for me, I can tell I stepped a little too far back because I'm having a hard time squaring my hips to the front of the mat. So I'm actually going to bump my back foot up a little bit. Really press into that back leg and then wind into it. Holy moly, there's so much more of a stretch coming through the front of the right leg, that hip flexor area, that I'm feeling now. Arms reach tall. Right? And these subtle changes make a big difference. You can draw that tailbone underneath. It's like you're trying to pull your belt buckle up towards your chin. That whole action, a little bit goes a long way. Good. So we're going to set up our eagle arms here. This time that left arm drops, crosses the midline, so it's on the bottom. Then that right arm crosses over top. So easier or more accessible, just a bear hug in this position. Okay? True eagle arms, we got one cross and then two crosses as we bring those forearms, and then the palms are kind of coming together. Okay? So feeling that stretch across, now more so the right shoulder blade. As you inhale, get taller through your spine, lift the elbows. Exhale, we're going to just hinge forward. Okay? Some of you maybe want to take it a little bit more easy. Chest and belly are just resting on this thigh. A little harder, we have it just barely hovering. Even harder still, I'm opening my left knee and I'm actually drooping on the inside. This side you can probably see it a little bit better. I'm actually on the inside of my thigh. But boy, are my legs sore, so I really don't want to be here that long. But these are the things we feel and notice in our practice. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Nice. Inhale, come all the way up. Straighten through that front leg. Unwind the arms to a T. Hands to the hips. back leg is going to bump forward a little bit so that we can really get squared hips to the front of the mat. Nice. Inhale, get nice and tall. Hinge forward. Hand to the shins. They can come to the thigh, just not the knee. We talked about this. Or use your blocks. Yeah, we're breathing. You know, sometimes we can be in a pose that's really hard and our breathing gets restricted. Sometimes we just need to remember, oh yeah, steadiness and ease. Good. As you inhale, let's come all the way back up. We're going to get ready for our revolve variation. So some of you maybe found it a little more accessible to lift that back heel up. It's going to be floating. I'm going to demo that one there. If you're more traditional, that back down. Okay, it's up to you. Left hand on the small of the back. Inhale, reach that right arm high up into the air. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward halfway. I'm going to turn. Whoa, I almost lost my balance there. I'm going to turn and plant. All right, maybe you're using a block. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to try to keep lifting my chest. Good. Let's look down at the floor. Inhale to come all the way up, and then step that back foot to meet the front foot. Good. Let's feel our Tadasana here. You may even just close the eyes for a moment. And just do a quick body scan. See how everything's feeling now that we've done some shoulder opening, now that we've done some hip work, all that good stuff. Close the eyes. Let's take a big breath in. And a long sigh. Yeah. Looking good. Okay. Bringing the eyes open. We're going to inhale, big sweep up. Folding as you exhale. In breath as you inhale. In breath as you inhale, yeah. Duh. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back. You can meet us in down dog, or you can flow through a vinyasa if you know it, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale either into cobra or dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. And remember, I told you we were going to try that twisted down dog again. Well, here is your chance. You can hang here. You can rest if you need to in child's pose. If you want to go for it, right hand. Subu, this one's for you. You didn't get to do this one, I think. So the right hand's going to grab across to the left thigh, calf, ankle, or even heel, maybe. And we're really using this connection to leverage into a twist off the left edge of your mat. And if you're really able to do this, you're going to try to touch your right elbow, bend it, and try to touch it towards the floor. And that just gives us a little bit of a different stretch across the shoulder blade. Good. Let's swap the hands so the right hand comes back to where it came from. Left hand grabs for that right side. You know, and it may look easy when I'm doing it here, but this may not necessarily be an easy position for you to be in. Think about it. We're holding a large majority of your body weight overhead with one arm. So if you fatigue a little faster than I pull you out of this, no problem. So again, little pro tip. If you're already in this and you want to go a little bit deeper, pulling, bending that left elbow, and then trying to bring it towards the floor. It creates a little bit of protraction through the shoulder blade, gives us a little bit more of a stretch. Oh. Nice. Good. Hand back down, lower the knees. Child's pose.
Child's pose, I suppose. Let's check in with everybody, see how we're all looking. Wonderful. Good to see all you lovely folks. Yes. Okay. So if you're chilling in child's pose, you can take a little bit longer there. I'm going to walk us through Dolphin and then some of the progressions leading up to forearm balance. Now, any inversions, arm balances are advanced, so you're at home alone without me there. So do these with caution. If you have a wall and you want to try to go upside down, being next to a wall is really going to be helpful. Okay, but I'm going to teach you some things that are leading up to that you won't need to even go upside down if you don't want to. Yeah, all right, we already got some people popping into their dolphin pose. So what are our progressions? Subu, you were here the other week when we went through these, so hopefully these will be kind of refreshers, and maybe you'll be able to stick your forearm balance. So adjusting yourself against the wall if you'd like. I'm going to brave the open air here. I have done these before. So if even dolphin is too much, you can just spend some time working on your forearm plank. That's a great movement here. Otherwise, we're in our dolphin pose. Now, if you want to start to build a strength for our forearm balance, which is kind of balancing on the forearms, we can start to lift one leg at a time, okay? And I should have said, try to get a little steeper if you can. Right, one leg, other leg, right? Now, woo, okay. Demos are not going to be as long. Now, if you're just working on that one leg, great. Our next step will just be hopping without the hopping without the intention of going all the way up. It's just kind of getting used to the motion of kicking from this shape. So, really steep dolphin, leg up into the air. I'm going to bend into my bottom leg, kick up, hop, and land, right? So I have no intention of going all the way up. I'm just feeling what it's like to have a moment balancing on my forearms and feeling the weight of the shoulders, okay? So those kick-ups, those small kicks, end up, yeah, I see Subu, you're going for it, nice. Now, if you're by a wall, or if you've had experience with this, then your kick-ups will actually pull you upwards, right? So that gets even harder here. No promises. I should be by a wall, but I'll be all washed out if I go there. So I go into my steep dolphin, which gets me over my shoulders, leg up into the air. I'm going to kick, stay tight. Nope, didn't quite get it. Stick, stay tight. Ooh, I saved it. I almost went over my shoulders. And I'm coming down again, right? And every day is a little different. Sometimes you're going to stick them, sometimes you aren't. And that's a pretty advanced, these are pretty advanced movements here. Let's see how everyone's doing. Nice, Subu's next to the wall there. Yeah, so we got some inversions there. And again, whenever I teach inversions in the class, Subu, well done. Yeah, great hold. Very nice hold on your forearm balance. And all progression leading up, the forearm plank, the steep dolphin, just the leg lift, those are all great variations to try. Some days I don't go up into the forearm balance. I just work on pressing down, lifting a leg if I'm feeling too tired. Now, I was just demoing it today, so I went up. But if it were my own practice, just me, today I wouldn't opt for it because my shoulders are sore. So it's not always, just because you can do a thing sometimes doesn't mean you always have to do it. So there's my lesson of the day. Ha-da-da. Nice. Now,
If you were trying some of those more advanced positions, let's find our way back to child's pose. Let's go more traditional. So knees are going to be together, forehead on the ground, but the arms are alongside your body. And they just kind of droop down towards the ground. This gives you a nice way to stretch the shoulders there. Yep. Let's bring things forward. And we're going to flatten all the way to our belly. Make sure this is still on. Good. Arms are going to be out to a T here. Left leg will bend, lift it up into the air, and I'm going to try to set my left foot across the midline and bring it towards my right hand. So this takes us into a twist, and we start to feel this stretch across the right chest and shoulder. So if you have enough room here, you can even plant the foot flat on the ground. There's two things that we can do. One is we can press with our left hand into the floor and wind up a little more deep into this stretch here. If you want even more, left hand reaches up and back as if you were going to try to clasp hands behind your body. You'll see it on the other side when I do this. Good. Whichever variation you chose, we're going to lower that left hand back to the floor, flatten the chest, straighten that leg out. Other side here, we're going to roll over to the left, but first we're going to bend that right knee, lift it up, send that right heel towards the left hand. What's going on behind the body? So I'm going to flatten my foot, knee up towards the sky. That just adds a little more twist into the spinal twist. I'm going to use my right hand either to press into that stretch or I reach up and over. I try to clasp my hands. It's not even close, but that's okay. I feel a nice stretch across my pecs here. Right hand flattens back down, chest flattening to the floor. We'll unwind, straighten the leg. Good. Let's pancake flip onto our backs. Oh. Yeah. Now, let's hug our knees. Here. I just want to get one more stretch for the shoulder blades across the back. So I'm going to place my feet a little further forward here. So you can grab shins. Some of you might even like to grab the soles of the feet here. What I'm going to do is pull into my feet and try to bow the upper part of my back and up. So I'm really using this connection to my feet to enhance this kind of spread of that upper back, right? You may not be able to see the subtle difference. Maybe if I sit a little bit closer here, right? So as I pull, I'm trying to stretch the back of my shirt, like right across the shoulder blades, from like back of the armpit to the back of the armpit. I'm tucking my chin, really rounding it down. I'm using the pressure pulling the feet to enhance that stretch. Nice. Good. Disengage the hands from the feet. We're going to drop the hands back behind you. Ideally, fingertips forward. If that's a little too much on your wrist or your shoulder, you can go out 90 or 180. So from here, we're just going to lift the chest. Get as much lift there as you can. Some of you may even want to lift the hips as well. Just get that nice tabletop lift. And it might feel nice for you to drop your head back and down. My neck's feeling a little stiff, so this doesn't feel as good for me and my body, but hey, you are living in your body. You know what it feels like. So I'm going to keep my chin tucked. Good. Let's lower the hips if you had them lifted. And we're going to bring ourselves down onto our back here. We'll go with spinal twist in each direction before we settle into our final Shavasana. Knees come into the chest. Let's, I think on Tuesday we did the double knees. So today we'll do the eagle legs. We are going to take our left leg over the right leg once. Maybe you can get a double wrap. Okay, hooking the toes under the calf. And I'm going to roll the body, boop, over to the right side. And then take that left arm, reach it up and over. The thing with these twists is when we get into them initially, our bodies may still be clinging, grabbing on, holding on. So we use our breath, specifically a big inhale, and we really take advantage of a long, kind of deflating exhale. Now, I don't mean deflating in a negative way. I mean it like as we deflate, we soften, we settle into the twist. You may notice after a few of those long inhales, even longer exhales, maybe you've settled deeper into a twist. Good. Let's bring it back to center here. Nice and slow. No need to rush this. We're going to unwind the legs here. Right leg's going to wrap around the left once, and then maybe twice. If you can hook those toes, right? It doesn't matter too much if you can't get that double wrap. You just move my body back so that we can roll over to the left, and then that right arm comes up and over. All right, so I can feel as I settled into this, my body's still gripping a little bit. So notice where you may be holding on to some extra tightness. Is it coming through the hip? Maybe through the waist or the low back. Maybe it's up into your ribs or your shoulder. And just take your inhale. Try to breathe into that spot. Long exhale. Really soften into that space. Yeah. Maybe you notice now after a couple of breaths, your body's kind of resting a little flatter on the floor. Good. Unwinding out of our twist. We're going to get ready for our final Shavasana. That's our resting pose. So whatever you need to do to be comfortable here is important. I am outside and it's very warm. I don't need a blanket, but maybe you like a blanket over you. You can cover your eyes with a blanket or a eye mask if you have one there. If you are experiencing any low back tightness, putting a blanket or a pillow or something to prop the knees up ever so slightly will make a big difference here. We want to be comfortable. We're going to be here for about 3 minutes, just allowing the body to be.
This is kind of the nicest part of class, in my opinion. So allow your legs to stretch out long, and the feet just dropping open. Arms alongside the body with the palms up. We're just going to allow the body to let go. We don't need to think about our breath. We can let go of any thoughts, any plans for later on today. We can use these few moments to just be present. Feel your breath begin to deepen here as your body starts to come back online. You move fingers and toes. Maybe you're rocking the head side to side. And if you have time to stay in Shavasana, you're more than welcome to. We're going to take the arms, reaching them up overhead. Take a big inhale, stretch the body out nice and long. We're going to open the mouth, letting out a sigh. Yeah. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale, big stretch. Nice. We're going to bend the knees, bringing them into the chest, and allow your body to roll towards one side so that you can come up to a comfortable seated position. and we are going to close today's class. I want to thank all of you for coming out. As you can see, new setup here at the farm. We're back in action. I will start having in-person classes probably here. We're going to be outdoors. There's plenty of shade in the area, so I'm going to figure out a setup where I can do both live stream and have in-person. So I'd love to hear some feedback if you have a few extra moments to how it sounded, how it looked, how your experience was that's different from my normal class schedule. So anyways, let's close things and I'll let you guys stick around if you need to. Thank you so much. Namaste.